The Wall Within by Steve Mason, Poet Laureate. Dedicated to all of us who know the true cost of war and have paid the price. The Wall Within. You have no more lies to tell. I have no more dreams to believe. I have seen it in your face. I am sure you have noticed it in mine, at the unutterable, unalterable truth of our war. I have run a zigzag course across the open fields of America, taking refuge in the inner cities. From MacArthur Park to Washington Square, from Centennial Park to DuPont Circle. On the grassy urban knolls of America, I have seen an army of combat veterans hidden among the trees. Veterans of all our recent wars, each a part of the best of their generation, waiting in their teeth for peace. I have seen them in the quiet dignity of their aloneness, singly in the confidence of their own perspective, and always at the edges of the clearing, patrolling like perimeter guards or observing as primitive gods. Each in his own way looks out to the park that he might see into the truth. Some, like me, enjoy the comfortable base of a friendly tree that we might cock one eye to the center of the park toward the rearing bronze horsemen of other wars who would lead us backwards to glory. Daily they are fragged by a platoon of disgruntled pigeons saying it is best for all of us, and with the other eye we read the poetry of America the Beautiful as she combs her midday hair. And I remember you and me, but somehow I sensed all the while that I'd never be able to forgive myself for enjoying your company so much or being so good at the game we played. We were the best, you and I. In our parks there are whole other armies of veterans, mostly young and mostly old, but always ageless, who are not alone. They share with their families and their friends these open-aired, above-ground time capsules of our national culture. They read aloud to themselves and their children from the plaques and statues, monuments and markers, those one-line truths of our common experience, as if there could be a real significance in words like love and hate tattooed on the clenched granite fists of America. All life is struggle, an act of natural balance and indomitable courage. As it is with man, so it is with mankind. If we permit Memorial Day to come to us every day, we ignore the concept of sacrifice and dilute its purpose. When we do that, we incur the responsibility to effect change. The values of our society seem to be distributed in our parks and find only confusion and sadness. Strange, I have observed no monuments to survivors. No obelisk to mark the conflicts of those who risked and lived perhaps to fight again, or perhaps to speak of peace. Nowhere yet a wall for the living. There is no wonder guilt is the sole survivor of war. We do not celebrate life after combat because our concept of glory lives neither in victory nor in peace, but in death. From the moon, only one man-made object can be viewed by the naked eye: the Great Wall of China, a tribute to man's functional paranoia. It's a peculiar perspective because we're a lot closer, and the only man-made object we see is the wall in Washington, D.C., the veteran's solemn pledge to remember. There's one other wall, of course, one we never speak of, one we never see, one which separates memory from madness, in a place no one offers flowers. The wall within. Do you know the wall I mean? You and I do not walk about the wall within like Hamlet on the battlements. No one with our savvy would expose himself like that, especially to a frightened, angry man. Suicide loiters in our subconscious and bears a grudge. An assassin on hashish. We must be wary. No, we sit there legless in our immobility as we lean over the ledge to write upside down with chalk, bleached white with our truth, the names of all the other casualties, the ones Pentagon didn't put in uniform, but died anyway. Because the wall within adds up the true cost of war. How many of those KIA had kids? How many of them got nice stepdads? Whose wall do they go on? And what about you vets who came home to your wife and kids only to divorce her because there wasn't anyone to be angry at? And you remember how that came down. You told the 3-year-old his daddy loved him and his mommy loved him and nothing would ever change after that. But it did. It did anyway. But not because you didn't love him enough, but because you loved him too much to be a part-time parent. And somewhere in an art gallery, maybe, is a portrait of American grieving parenthood, hand-holding Rockwellian caricatures of wisdom and forbearance. And oh yes, pride, sitting on the front porch of the township, waving their lemonades at the Greyhound bus driver. Baloney! If you and I were men of common conscience, we might agree on a collective dedication to our walls within. As for me, they could all read. This wall is dedicated to mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, wives, husbands, sons, daughters, lovers, friends, and most of all, dreams of the men and women who risked it all.